We are faced with this enormous task where we need to prepare the next generation to be future ready. But just how much challenging can this future be? The mission is to prepare students to work at jobs that have yet to exist, to create ideas and solutions for problems that have yet to be identified, using technologies that have yet to be invented. Such a tall order, right? Obviously, we need all the help we can get. And it starts with adopting an outward-looking perspective. In fact, high-performing education systems like Canada, Finland, and Singapore have this perspective. An outward-looking perspective means that you are open and ready to learn from others, and that you are not threatened by alternative ways of thinking. Education in Finland and Singapore is superior because, well, they have figured out how to figure things out. So what exactly is their formula? And how are they doing it? Although Finland and Singapore's education systems are quite different from each other, they have certain commonalities. Both have strong teacher training development. Both use a differentiated or personalized instruction. Both teach the basic and useful things, aiming for mastery. Very pragmatic. Both promote cooperation, not competition. Everyone is simply on board. Both foster a learning atmosphere, an environment that encourages curiosity and discovery. And both also are, research-oriented, and they maximize technology for education. There are so many things worth mentioning about these education systems, but let's just talk about a few. In Finland, accountability for teachers is not needed. Teachers are thoroughly trained and prepared. They need to have finished their masters before they can teach basic education. Now, in the words of Pasi Sahlberg, Director of Finland Education, there's no word for accountability in Finnish. Accountability is something that is left when responsibility has been subtracted. Finland also practices consistent instruction from the same teachers. Students in Finland have the same teacher for up to 6 years of their education. During those years, mutual trust and bonding are built so that both parties know and respect each other. Sounds like homeschooling, right? Homeschooling parents are the primary teachers of their kids for many years. Finland students get their learning done without the pressure that comes with ranking. And without having to worry about grades, they're able to focus on the true task at hand, which is learning and growing as a human being. In Singapore, students are considered equal. Parents play a crucial role here. The talent myth, which states that some kids are naturally smarter than others, is non-existent in Singapore. Singapore incorporated Teach Less, Learn More, which encourages teachers to focus on the quality of education, not the quantity. So Singaporeans have stopped listing the top scoring student on the national exam to ease some of the pressure students may feel. And whatever else they are doing, well, it certainly is working, as Singaporeans are excelling in exams and international tests, with graduates moving on to highly skilled jobs in industries. Again, outward looking means that we can learn from the success of these education practices and incorporate it in what we know that works. We have used the classical blueprint in the teaching learning process. The presentation, practice, and production setup, which have variations, have been used all this time. The presentation comprises of the general introduction of the lesson, There are actually many elements here, including finding relevance to real life situations, making sure the student is motivated, and that concepts are properly explained. Practice includes exercises such as seat work and activities. And the last part is the assessment, where tests and evaluations are facilitated and applications are encouraged. Now, following the latest research and inputs gained from a webinar hosted by MJ Tan of Online Edutechs, Singapore, there is an important shift of variation. According to MJ, the element of interest is paramount if learning is to be most effective. Concepts have to be introduced and explained in the most natural and enjoyable way. Practice is also needed, of course, but really, interest should be present and sustained. So how do we build interest? The lessons should be relevant, and the learning environment should encourage discovery and curiosity. We should also be open to the idea of technology to help us optimize learning. But I personally believe that screen time isn't always a bad time. In the webinar, Emulating Singapore's Math Education Success, this question was posted to the participants. What is the easiest method of learning? The participants offered several answers, but it turned out that the easiest method is, well, watching. And it must be true, because I know some adults who can stand to watch dramas for more than 10 hours with interest. So Victorious Homeschool recognizes this and has partnered with education companies that promote the best pedagogical practices. Adapting an outward-looking perspective, Brainpop, backed by US research, which is ironically adapted by Finland Education, and SMILE, which stands for Singapore Maths Innovative Learning Experience. So these apps support this perspective, and they fit the presentation practice production setup, which remains the simplest way to teach almost any lesson. Now, Brainpop promotes global knowledge, tackling many subjects from science, social studies, health and social emotional learning, to engineering and technology. It even has updated current events and issues, all of which support digital literacy and coding. Interest is present and sustained as storytelling and play, and ideas are formed and connected. Even assessments are gamified and made fun. Brainpop allows learners to create with these features, make a movie or map a creative coding. Digital outputs can serve as projects. Practice is made fun through play, and concepts are introduced naturally. SMILE, on the other hand, is one of the latest products to be introduced in the Philippines. Like Brainpop, SMILE easily fits the presentation practice production setup. Interest is present because cartoon animations bring the lesson to life. In MJ's words, it's like a talking textbook. Math is taught and related to real-world settings. Problems are presented as something that can be solved. And worksheets and quizzes provide reinforcement and further understanding. And concepts are further divided and broken down to allow independent learning. Now, maximizing education in case of limited internet, videos can be pre-downloaded and can also be watched anywhere. Now, the future is about more open-mindedness and innovative partnerships. And to be outward-looking means to use the potential of technologies to liberate learning from conventions and connect learners in new and powerful ways. In homeschooling, we have the freedom to frame our actions with purpose. The best performing countries show that true education is an attainable goal, and that it is within our means to deliver a future for our children. And the task is not to make the impossible possible, but to make possible attainable. For details about all of these and these apps that can help you in your homeschooling, just message any of the contact details on screen. You can also log in to Smile and use the promo code VH88 to avail of the 90% discount awarded by Singapore's online edutechs.